So cosmos, so science. Science is this week's theme. It's very echoey in here. I just wanted to kind of talk about like Neil deGrasse Tyson and his thoughts on the cosmos. And quickly, I watched a YouTube video by London Real. Basically, they did an hour interview with him. He talks about like the act of finding a lesson. The act of finding the lesson is the lesson itself. He wouldn't give his previous self actually any advice, which I thought was really, really interesting, because you think you'd want to prepare yourself for something, but knowledge really isn't the key. Knowledge is neutral. It's what you do with it. But really, if you get inspired by something, you have to kind of take that knowledge. And he said, when you get lectured to, they're just passing knowledge on to you, but there's a certain relationship. I was thinking of John Green's quote, "Books belong to their readers." There's a certain relationship between readers and writers, and it's different than in school. And it's kind of cool how we're wrapping up school with science theme this week. Books belong to their readers, just as sort of creations are made meaningful by the people that actually receive it. The other thing he talks about is the idea that all these subjects in science, like biology, chemistry, physics, all geography, astrology, all these scientific disciplines actually are all covered by the idea of the cosmos, of how it's all connected. When you take ownership of specific knowledge, it can change how you perceive things. It can change your context. That's really what's interesting about the Cosmos show that I'm watching, because it takes the universe and condenses it down to a single year in time. You see the universe in a year. Every day is 40 million years. I think that's what the statistic was. And humanity showed up like 1159 or something like that, the last, like our actual species. And then like the last second we went from Galileo to walking on the moon. That's pretty powerful, right? Everything relies on everything else. Our atoms are as old as the cosmos. So go watch that if you want. London Real, it's on YouTube. It's an hour interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He talks about his meeting with Carl Sagan, and how he chose Harvard, and how he became an astrophysicist, and how he has 1.7 million Twitter followers. Now, Twitter followers is just basically you're passively eavesdropping on somebody's just brain dumps. It's more of a connection than that. But that's kind of what Twitter is. It's just an ongoing feed, and people take interest in the ideas of others. People are interested in other people's ideas. It's pretty cool, though. It's great that he actually represents, he's focusing on actually just sharing that passion for the universe. The other thing he talks a lot about, too, is the relationship between education and science, and how a teacher can so easily destroy our interest in something or kind of turn us off to specific passions that we have. And he actually talks about how there's not one teacher that really said he'll go far as an astrophysicist, because he decided so early on that he wanted to be one. And that's education for you. It's tough to always find the right teachers that encourage us. The thing to keep in mind too is I lost my train of thought. I was screwing around and I lost my train of thought. It's actually neat to think that it takes one teacher, though. It can take one interaction for you to really just think about big thoughts in the big context and kind of choose the career or pathway you want to take for something you want to share. That's probably what Carl Sagan did partially to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Really takes the context, the largest context, and lets you see how it applies to everything in a specific way. Who you are is what you do, and what you learn from what you did. That's creating an awesome self. Fascinating. So keep doing that. Keep staying curious, and don't forget to be awesome. Goodbye.